Hi guys, once again, sorry about the fan noise. You probably can't hear right now, but you will be able to in a minute. Today, the paint is finally here for the Rhino. You can see all this is sanded down. I was just doing basically knocking out the big portion with this little palm sander. It's like a $20 sander. Hyper tough Walmart sander. I have that polisher, which I have sanding pads for, but the thing's just so big we can't get in the cracks. See, I just barely made any progress on this one right now. Haven't really started. But I took it down to what I figured would be, far enough. Couldn't get in some of the corners as much as the rest of it, but I still got in them. I did get in the vents. The only thing I have done is I bought an actual switch panel rather than my toggle switches that I had that were garbage. So here's the whole switch panel, whole thing's hooked up. Of course, nothing is hooked up to these switches. And then all these, this one turns the voltage meter on because I did not want the voltage meter draining from my battery full time. Reason I didn't film it is it's all pre-wired. You can see back in there. I just made a whip that went to the load portion of this switch, and then obviously the positive on the other. I have the ground hooked on the battery right now. I didn't have a connector, but I am going to run it over a hole that's right here. And all my stuff's heat shrink, switch panels mounted. I think it looks a whole lot better than it did before. Lights up red, because red is going to be the accent color of this. Because I don't know if I told y'all or not, but you will see in this video that the color for the Rhino is OD green bed liner. If any of you follow Bertrand 850, he did his square body, and the guy obviously loves military-ish greens. Now his Duramax is got that goldish kind of rack, but the point was that he Raptor lined his 85, I think, which is the same kit we got. We got Raptor liner for this, 1 gallon kit. We're gonna do this on the flatbed, and then hopefully if we pull off and if we have enough, because I am planning on redoing these wheels, because look at that. I'm gonna get these sandblasted and use them for black. Got a 4-bottle kit, 4 liters, 1 gallon, of course. And I'm gonna have 2 bottles black, 2 bottles olive green or olive drab, whatever you want to call it. And I'm hoping that we can do this center section right here, but we shall see. Main thing I want, hood, little cow piece that's on the table right here, and the bed. So I'm gonna set y'all up on this tripod right quick, and I'm about to get my tail to sanding, I reckon. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, not back to the channel, I just messed up. Accidentally intro for the video I already done an intro for. But we are actually finally painting, as you can see. I did it off video, but I went ahead and self-etch primered the bed because I was in a rush this morning. Had a family gathering to get to, so I didn't really have time to film it, but it's just like spraying anything else. I don't know that y'all would even like it in the video because it's just spraying, and I mean, I don't really like, or I would like to think that I don't make videos like that are all the way boring, besides, you know, myself being boring, but somehow you 107, I think it is now, or 110, find me entertaining, and that's one of the most awesome things ever, that y'all just watch me on your phones. I've got 110 people roundabout that do that every day. Like, I literally, like, man, I can't wait to watch this. That's crazy feelings you don't really know unless you start doing this. But the primer I did use is high build. I got Eastwood simply for that reason right there. Don't want to buy any crappy stuff. And we're obviously using the Raptor liner, as you saw in the quote-unquote intro. And obviously this bed isn't plastic, but we do have this stuff sanded down we did yesterday, and the lighting isn't the greatest because it is dark, and the fan is on because it is hot. But you can see the only thing we didn't really get in depth is this right here, but they are scuffed up plenty. And here's what we're going to use to test our spraying, basically, because I'm never going to use these again, because I obviously can't use these again because I chopped my bed into an amazing looking flatbed. One might say, other might say, you know, I was too cheap to pay for a real flatbed, which is true. I'm not paying a buku amount of money for something that I can make that I like already, which more people should do, because even if it doesn't look as good as it is manufactured, you take a lot of pride in doing it yourself if it turns out right. Now, all my projects have not turned out right, I guarantee you. Matter of fact, to show y'all one of my horrid projects, and one of the worst mistakes I actually ever made, was painting my old mirrors for the OBS. Well, that one's apart, but I painted these mirrors so they would be color matched. Now, this is getting kind of lengthy. Anyway, one of my mirrors color matched, and you know, it matched the truck using a duplicolor. Like, some great pieces were great, and then others were horrible. Like, yes, this is the overspray one. I said in that video, use it, don't use it in large quantities. Everybody fails. The only difference is how you get back up and do it again, or how you take on another project. But we're actually going to start spraying this Raptor, and we got to spray some adhesion promoter. This is some old I had. There's like a drop left in this can, but some adhesion promoter for those panels. Now, before I did all this, I sprayed them down with thinner earlier. Just now turning the fan on. Yeah, I mean, I could get possibly better results without the fan off, but I mean, it's not really kicking up dust. It might blow some particles on this flatbed, but I mean, you can tell I'm just in the best environment for painting. It's not going to be 100% perfect, or it might be, I don't know. But you did see me pour off this little bit. I was watching how to actually mix this stuff, and when you do, as you saw before, when you do fill it up all the way with all your hardener and all your color, it's very close to the top. So when you go to stick your gun in it, go to stick your gun in the bottle, it wants to overflow. And I don't know what I'm gonna need to set on, so we're just gonna try it out. So I'm gonna set y'all up on the tripod, and gonna get to painting. As you can see here, we do have the green sprayed as you just watched. I will say this is much more of a green than I originally intended. I guess the bottle does make it look different. Rather than being on a full bedline surface, but this stuff right here went on like super easy. Y'all saw it, didn't take me no time. And I don't know how much this bottle I have left, but like probably at least half. But I probably got half a bottle left, which means that will probably take half a bottle. And I've got 2 bottles with 2 things of color. So I should, because I am going to go heavier. I'm not doing the backside simply because I think I'm gonna get some Eastwood rust reformer, something to tackle rust, because I'm not sanding all that or wire wheeling all that off. But I do want to get this right here done, the console, so it will kind of tie everything together. And I'm thinking I will have enough paint to do so once I spray these panels, because this should be about like that. So like this panel right here, I will not need to coat twice. I do need to hit the top edge some more, but I don't have to coat this twice, because like that's not, I'm gonna coat probably the bottom twice, simply for the benefit of it being stepped on more and whatnot. And then this twice, most likely, for the benefit of it's obviously going to be scratched against limbs and such, which is the reason I want to bedline this, because then it won't scratch or nothing. And I think it's going to make it stand out. I certainly wish this green had a little bit more tan in it. Was more, I thought it was going to be closer to a military green, an OD green, but hey, looks a lot better than black and rusty. So I'm going to pick up, I just sprayed the adhesion promoter. Pardon my weirdness, but I just sprayed the adhesion promoter, word I'm looking for. So I'm going to pick up back where I'm able to spray these with some more adhesion promoter and then with the Raptor liner. So I guess I'll see y'all after this Raptor line.